Hello, I just wanted to make a video because I got to, as you can tell from the title, I got to go to see Paul McCartney and I got a front row seat, which apparently I heard that he doesn't give them out because I got one and I didn't buy one. So let me just start from the beginning. Sorry, I'm bad at talking on this. It started when I was graduating high school, which was last year, 2014, and for graduation my dad told me I had a really cool present. I was like, oh, cool. Like, oh wait, actually it started in like 2013 or 2012 or something. I heard about the Paul McCartney tour and I saw that he was coming where I am. I don't want to say where I live because people might stalk me out there. Jeez. Anyways, I heard about the concert and I just thought, like, I wanted to go really bad, and then I was like, oh, well, of course I'm never gonna be able to go to that because I looked at the tickets, they were like $400 or something, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. But the last time he came to where I live was back in 1964, so he doesn't come here very often. I'm not gonna say where I live because I don't want anybody to stalk me out there, but anyway. What happened is I was graduating and then my dad said he had a cool present for me. It's like, I just thought it'd be cool, but I didn't think it'd be that cool. And anyways, it ended up being Paul McCartney tickets, which our seats were like in the back, kind of like there's like a balcony and we're on the corner, kind of in the middle, but we're towards the back. So I was like freaking out when I got those tickets because it's Paul McCartney, like, come on. And yeah, I couldn't even believe that I was going to a concert because I never thought in my life I would ever go to a concert, especially Paul McCartney. And let me just say, this was my first concert, so anyways, what happened is the concert, it was supposed to be in July. I graduated in May, and it was supposed to be in June actually. And I graduated in May, so I was like excited because it was soon, but then he ended up having a virus of some sort, so then it got moved to October, so, and now it's March, so yeah. Okay, so what happened? The first thing we did, like, me and my dad, we were kind of early, I guess, but we weren't early enough to see him, like, get out of his car or anything. But, well, somebody from my school told me that she's a big fan too, and she was at the concert and she was driving. And apparently she saw him, she was driving by like a car or something, like a black car, and she was like, oh, I wonder who that is. So she waved because she was like, I think it's Paul McCartney, but she wasn't sure. And then he ended up rolling down his window and it was him right there, so that was pretty cool, I thought. And when we got, first we drove downtown, where the concert was, and sorry, I'm bad at explaining things. We drove there to where the concert was, and then we ended up going and we ate dinner and stuff. I saw a bunch of people wearing Beatles shirts and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I was just so excited because I've been a fan for so long, and I just was excited just to be there. Then we ate dinner, and then after, we waited a long time. We were sitting outside for a while because we got there 2 hours early or something. Then we saw a line that was starting to form to get inside the arena, and then I wanted to get a shirt really bad, which then we ended up getting, which was cool because I was like, might as well, it's like my first concert and it's Paul McCartney, so I guess I'll show you later what the shirt looks like if you want to see it. You probably know what it looks like anyways if you got one or if you see it online. Then we saw a line was forming, so we're like, maybe we should get in line, they're probably going to open soon. And so then we decided to get in line, and then sure enough, it was like around, I think it was 8, I don't remember the exact time, but the concert started, no, it was 7, started at 8. And so this is the cool part. When it gets to the cool part, well, me and my dad, we were like so excited, so we like ran up the stairs because our seat was at the top. And I remember I was like, oh my god, we're finally so I was like freaking out. I was like shaking already, even though I didn't even like, nothing happened. And then we said we should go to the bathroom first just in case, because the concert was like pretty long. So since we just ate dinner, so we went to the bathroom. Or no, first before we went to the bathroom, we looked, like we wanted to go see the stage. So we walked to there's a balcony, and like the doors were open because they close the doors when the concert starts. And we looked out, and I saw like it was like purple stage. It was like cool lights everywhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like I was gonna cry. But then I was like, I'm not gonna cry because it's kind of like weird. But I didn't at that part. But later we were like, okay, that's like so cool. We're both so excited, like, oh my gosh, we're here. So then I went to the bathroom, and my dad waited for me outside, and then I came out, and I was like, okay, should we go now? And he's like, wait, I'll go to the bathroom, which thank God he went to the bathroom because what happens next is pretty awesome. He went to the bathroom, and then as I told you earlier, I don't know if I did, I was holding my signs. I had some signs, and like, I heard that he does special things for people who make signs, like he, I don't know, brings them on stage or like does something cool. And so I didn't think this would happen to me at all. I was just making signs, so I was like, you know, just in case. Because anyways, what happened is my dad went to the bathroom, and then I stood outside the bathroom, and I was just waiting, like, and I was kind of like creeped out because I didn't want anybody to walk up to me. I was just like, I don't know, I was by myself with a bunch of like people everywhere, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna stay over here. I went like kind of in the middle of the hall, and then a woman came up to me, and I was like, oh, really? Someone's talking to me? Oh, whatever. But and then she asked me, she's like, where are you sitting? And I was like, why is she asking me where I'm sitting? I was like, it's kind of like weird, like why would, anyways. She's like, what seat are you sitting in, or something like that. And I was like, I don't know, I have no idea, like it's somewhere over here. And I told her, and then I was like, my dad has the tickets, he's in the bathroom, I could tell you when he gets out. And I was like, anyways, it's none of her business, like why would she want to know? And then she just gave me, like, this part's kind of a blur because it just happened so fast, it felt like. But I think what happened is she gave me the tickets, and then she's like, why don't you try finding these? And she gave them to me, and I was like, what? At first I thought it was backstage passage, but then I looked at it and I was like, I saw the seat thing and said like row 1. Wait, I have the ticket, I could show you. Okay, so I don't want you to know where I live. Okay, I'm gonna cover this part. It says row 1. Woo! Sorry, I'm just covering there because I don't want you to know where I live. Anyways. Oh yeah, the woman, she came up to me and she gave me the ticket. She's like, why don't you try finding these? And I was looking at it, I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my gosh, row 1? I was like, what? And then she, like, I think I was in shock or something. I was like, I didn't even say anything. I was just like, what? And I was looking at it, and then she was walking away, and I screamed. I was like, thank you, because I like felt like I needed to say thank you because that was pretty awesome. So then when she was walking away, she's like, oh, well, it's your lucky day, isn't it? And I was like, what? Oh my gosh. And then that's when, right when she gave it to me, gave the tickets to me, I was like, shaking so much. And I was like thinking in my head, what am I gonna tell my dad when he comes out of the bathroom? Like, I was just like, what do you say to something like that? So then I was like shaking. I felt like I was gonna cry. Like, and then my dad came out of the bathroom. I don't even remember what I said. I think I said, look what this lady gave me or something like that. And I was just like, I didn't know what to say at all. And I was like shaking. I felt like I was gonna cry. Anyways, and then he took the tickets, because she gave me 2 tickets, by the way. My dad has the other one, but this is just one that I have. And because I told her my dad was with me, so I guess she gave me 2, because if it was just me, she would have given me 1. But I was just like shaking so much, and then I told my dad, I was like, a lady just gave me these. And I was like shaking so much, and then he was like looking at this, he's like, he thought they were fake at first, but I was like, I don't think they are, because the woman who gave them to me, she had like this lanyard on, and like she had like a shirt from the arena, so she was like working at the arena, but it was like, I guess Paul McCartney gave her those tickets or something. But anyways, yeah, my dad thought they were fake, so he was like, oh my gosh, he's like, because he was freaking out too, but he was like, he didn't really believe it at first. But I believed it. I was like totally excited. And then I was like, what if they are fake? So I was like, I don't know, but I was like so excited anyways. I was just like shaking. And then so then he was like, oh my gosh, let's go find these, because it's front row. And then he's like, I remember he told me, he's like, how the heck do we even get to front row? Like, we don't even know how to get there. Because first of all, I've never been to a concert, and my dad's been to a concert, but he just didn't know how. We're like, we're not the type of people to sit in front row, so I thought it was pretty amazing that it would happen to me, because nothing like this awesome happened, really, to anybody, really. But there were these stairs, because we were sitting on the balcony, so we were at the top, kind of, so then we decided, we went down the stairs, and we're like, how do we even get here? And then I was like shaking, oh my gosh, like I remember I was going down the stairs, but my knees were shaking so much, I was like I felt like I was gonna fall over or something and like hurt myself or something. And then we got to like, there's like railing like to get to the front row, so we saw this woman and we're like, how do we get to the front row? And then she's like, oh, just follow me. And then she like told us where to go, I think. I don't know. This part's kind of like hard to remember too, but then I remember I just saw these, like, I was just screaming at random strangers, which I never do. I was just like, oh my gosh, a lady gave me these tickets, ah! I never do that, by the way, because I'm really quiet. And I like never talk to anybody really, like any strangers or anything. So I was just like, that's weird for me. I was just screaming at everyone like, oh my god, a lady gave me these, ah! They probably had no idea what I was talking about, but anyways, then we saw a woman, like the lady who checks your tickets to let you know where you're sitting, because I don't know, I've never been to a concert, but she did that, maybe because it's front row, but also like I think they do that for everywhere. I don't know. But she was like, oh my god. Like, she looked at the ticket and she's like, you must know somebody. And I was like, no. And I just was like screaming. I was like, a woman gave them to me. Ah! And then she was like, oh wow, you're lucky. And I was just like shaking so much, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually real. And then there's like barely anybody there when we got there, because it was like, we got there pretty early. We found our seats pretty early, and because it was 7 when we found our seats, and the concert started at 8, so there was still a little bit of people, but not in the front. There weren't that many. But what happened is, I saw, like, me and my dad, we just or wait, first we saw these people sitting behind us, and they're like, oh wow, he doesn't even like, wait, no, okay, what happened is, sorry, this happened in October and it's March now, so Sorry if I can't remember all the details. Okay, first we sat down, like me and my dad, we sat in our seats and like what happened to me is I just looked up and I saw his piano and oh my gosh, it was like right there. It was like so close. Like it was so close to me and I just, the thought of that he would be there, I just started crying. It wasn't like a crazy crying though, because it was just like tears and like I was like fine, but there was just like tears coming out of my eyes and I was like, oh my god. And then a woman behind me, she was like, oh, she's so cute, because I was just like crying and I was like, oh my gosh, this is embarrassing, because I don't really cry that much. But and then a man that was like a little bit farther behind us, he like screamed, he's like, how'd you get those tickets? They're not even for sale. And then my dad was like, a woman just gave them to my daughter or whatever. And like I just was like crying the whole time. And then well, in the beginning, not during the concert, but here's a picture of me and my dad when we first reacted, and it's funny because you could tell in my eyes I'm like crying and my dad's like just in shock. But anyways, like I couldn't stop laughing at that picture after the concert. I looked at it and I was just laughing at it because it's just so funny. Here's some other pictures if you want to see them. Ta-da. Anyway, so right after we decided to call, well, my dad called my mom because I was like crying too much and he's like, do you want to talk to her? I was like, I can't even talk, I'm like crying. And then anyways, he called my mom and then my mom just started crying. Well, at first she said, what happened? Is she okay? Because like my dad said that I was crying, and then he's like, we got front row seats, and then my mom just started crying. And she's like, oh my god. And she's like, can I talk to her? And I was like, I'm crying right now. And she's like, me too. So then I ended up talking to her. And then I was telling her, I was like, oh my god, like I think I'm just gonna cry throughout the whole concert. Like I can't believe this. And then the security guard, they were just laughing at me because I guess, I don't know, they just thought I was funny because I was like saying I would cry the whole time or something. But anyways, it was pretty cool. And then so I talked to my mom, and then apparently my mom said she called my grandma after, and then she started crying too, so everybody was crying because it's just like amazing. I didn't even think anything like that could happen to me because, I don't know, nothing really happens. I mean, cool things happen to me, but that was pretty awesome. Anyways, to the concert, we got there an hour early, so it was like 7, and then me and my dad, we talked seriously for an hour. It felt like 20 minutes. We were talking for an hour just about what just happened. And we're like, what? How did this happen? I remember I kept saying, what? And I was like, what? Me and my dad, we just could not believe it. And then they started playing this slideshow of Paul McCartney pictures. I don't know if any of you have been to the concert, if you remember that. But they played that, and then we thought he was coming. So we're like, oh, he's coming. But then it's like only like 7:30. So we're like, oh. Starts at 8. Then we waited for a while, and then some music started playing. We're like, oh, he's coming. And then we could hear like bass playing in the background of some songs, because they played songs like just on a speaker or something, and there's like, you could hear like doom doom boom, like the bass going along with it, but you could tell it wasn't the song. Like, so we're like, oh my gosh, he's warming up, which I think he was. I don't know, maybe it was the song, but it sounded like he was. So like, oh my god, and I was like shaking, and I was like, I hope I don't cry when he comes out, because that's gonna be really embarrassing. Luckily I didn't. But anyways, what happened is he came out, and I remember since we were sitting in the front, I couldn't really see like that much far behind, so I didn't see him like when he was like out, because I heard everybody screaming, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's here. And then he walked to the front, like he started walking towards the front. It's like, what? And then he just looked, I remember like right when I saw him, he was looking right at me, and I was like, what? So, and then I felt like so rude, because I felt like I was like a boring, like rude fan or something, because I just stood there and I was like, and I just didn't do anything, and I was like, I should have waved or something maybe, but I didn't even wave the whole concert. I was like, really? But anyways, he went out there and I was like, oh, and then he's like right there, and I think he waved, but then I didn't wave, and I was just like, what? And then I was just like, I was like frozen or something, like I couldn't even like move. And then I don't really remember much of what happened after that, but all I remember is that I think I talked to my dad. I like turned or something. I was like, oh my gosh. All I remember is then he started Magical Mystery Tour, which I don't get how I don't remember what happened. Then he started playing Magical Mystery Tour, and then I was still standing there, just like stiff, like I just was like, and I felt like a really rude fan because he gave me tickets to sit in the front, and I was just like standing there just like bored or something. But then he looked at me and he went like, he's like, come on or something like that. And I was like, what? And then I was like, okay, I'll dance. Like I felt kind of rude like not dancing, and then I started singing. Then eventually near the end I was like screaming, and I was like jumping up and down, like singing loud, and it was really fun. So yeah, that's what happened. I think my favorite song was probably Live and Let Die. Like I've always liked that song, but it wasn't like, it's never really been my favorite until the concert. Like at the concert it was amazing. And I remember he had like explosions and stuff, and there's fireworks inside like the building. I don't even know how that's possible, but I remember it was funny because there's like these huge explosions. They were right next to me and my dad, and when they went off I like jumped back and like covered my ears because I got scared because I didn't think there was gonna be a bomb, or not bomb, like a fire thing. So then I saw Paul McCartney and he was like pointing at me laughing, and I was like, what, this is so cool. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and it was fun because it felt like, since I was in the front, it felt like I was like, I had a private concert just to myself, and we were just jamming together. Like, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was really fun. It was like the best concert ever. I don't think, it was my first concert ever, which I don't think I'll ever be able to go to a better concert than that. That's what a woman told me that was sitting next to my dad. Which, fun fact, she told me that she was actually there the first time he came in 1964 to where I live. I'm not gonna say where I live, but she was at the first concert with the Beatles. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But she told me, she's like, wow, basically all your other concerts are gonna be like a barbecue now. Like, it's not even gonna be that awesome because like nothing beats that, I think. It was like a great concert. I definitely recommend going to his concert if you have the chance. And like my tickets, I think they're probably like $400, which is a lot, but it was definitely worth it. And then we ended up sitting in the front row, which those are like $1,000 or something. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. If he comes to your town, you should go because it was seriously really cool. And definitely make a sign, because if you get lucky like me, then it's been pretty awesome. Yeah, I just felt like I should make this video because I just wanted to remember it, and also just to share my story because I thought it was cool. It's not like I got to meet him or anything, but I kind of did because I saw him like the whole concert, which was like 3 hours. He was like right in front of me. So that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, also he got to read my signs. I thought that was pretty cool because I held them up and then he just read them and then he gave me a thumbs up. He's like, nice, because one of them said best grad present ever, and he like gave me a thumbs up, and like I could tell he was reading them. And it's funny because he reads them when he's playing too, and then whenever there's a break he's just like But then he read my other sign. It said Valerie screaming from the gallery, because my name's Valerie. I don't remember what he said for that one, but I remember the graduation, he was like, nice, or something. Gave me a thumbs up, but the other one, I think he read it and then he was playing or something, I don't know. But this happened like October, so that was a while ago, so I don't remember everything from it. But I wrote this journal for school, and after the concert I was like, oh, I'm definitely writing a journal about this, so I ended up writing like 10 pages about that. I don't really know what else I could say. If you have any questions, or if you want me to tell you more about the concert, I have a lot more things I didn't say. If you want me to like explain something, I don't know. And please don't yell at me in the comments, because I don't like it. So that's it with the story of the concert. Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. If you get the chance to see him, go see him. So yeah, bye.